everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's like a Tuesday afternoon, well evening actually. I'm actually filming in the dark. It's a Tuesday evening in lockdown and I've had uni all day and I'm bored, so I'm gonna film a video. And basically I wanted to film one of these. It's just a sit down and chat, true Abigail Griffin style, with a cup of Earl Grey. Just chatting to you and reflecting on the year of 2020. I don't think I've actually processed what actually went on in 2020. Like, I feel like we blinked and we're in 2021, but also so much happened that I think it needs to be spoke about. And I think I need to like digest it in my own head. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So first on my list, I've just got my iPad here for preference, because you know there's that much that happened. I just spilt my tea, don't tell Mary. First on the list was the bushfires in Australia. Like, when was that? That was in like January, wasn't it? And like COVID, it wasn't in the UK. I don't think COVID was in the UK in January, but COVID was about, but I mean, we weren't thinking about it. We never thought we would get to the position that we were in. But like, people died. There was fires everywhere in Australia, in the rainforests. Like, it was quite crazy, wasn't it? And that just like solidified what the year was going to be. I think after that, I was actually like, I saw it and I was like, surely that's not real. I've got a little article up here to remind ourselves. Yeah, temperatures and months of severe drought fueled the bushfires across Australia. I think it was like a wake-up call for like global warming as well, wasn't it? Because the reason why the heat's getting bigger, I mean, don't think I'm a scientist, but in my head, the reason why everywhere is getting hotter, like we had a really hot summer, is because like we're putting so much like fuel and emissions into the world. I remember doing that in science. But yeah, so at least 33 people had been killed. So it was really sad, and I think it was just like one of them things that said like, yeah, 2020 is not going to be a good one. And then I have on my list Bryant in the helicopter crash. That came out of nowhere as well. I remember seeing it on people's Instagrams and being like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, him and his daughter were killed in the helicopter crash. And I remember just seeing like everyone posting it and I was like, oh my God, that's so sad. And yeah, there was no survivors of the crash, wasn't there? But imagine that, like, to like go out and go in a helicopter. Like, I know you think like you're going on a plane. I never get fearful of like flying, but you never think like something like that's gonna happen. Like, you just go and there's a crash. So it's really sad that, and obviously him and his daughter, the girl was only 13, wasn't she? So it's like, it's not no age, and he was what, 41, still had an amazing career in basketball. Like, it's just sad. And that was what, January as well. So already in January there was stuff going on with Donald Trump as well, and stuff with Iran, tensions with Iran and whatever. The world was just crazy. But I remember seeing everything and being like, oh, this is so sad. But I was like, oh yeah, the year's off to a bad start. But I was still like going out. I was still able to go to clubs, go out. I went to London for my friend Jenna's 18th. Me, my friend Jenna and my friend Liv, we all went to London. Like, that is the last time I've been in a hotel in 2020. Thank God we went there. That's the last holiday I had. And I was thinking life was still quite normal. And then, so that's all I can remember that affected me pre-COVID. And then I just remember COVID-19. Like, I'm going to tell you a funny story now. Well, it's not funny, but it is. Basically, we went to Wembley. Obviously, my family supports City, and there was a game on in March, and all my family went, and we got the coach down. And I remember I was in full revision mode for A-levels, so usually, like, well, everyone on the coach was pretty much smashed, bar me and a few others. And I texted my cousin the other day, and we were looking at like memories and stuff, and I was like, I so wish I got drunk on that trip. Mum's not gonna really like me saying that, but oh well. I was like, I so wish I got drunk on that trip, because like I didn't know in my head that was gonna be one of the last times like I was gonna be with like the family. And I was just like, I think I was revising on the way down there, like in full revision mode. And then on the way back, after the match had been, we won. Well done, City. My little cousin, well, no, we got given, like, we saw on the news that like the first case had been in Bury, and Bury's like where I live, kind of, or where I go to college. And anyway, my cousin was like, oh my god, like it's in Bury, like oh my god. And he was going like, imagine if school's shut. And me, my cousin Molly and my cousin Lauren all turned around to him and went, Jake, that would never ever happen. I was like in full revision mode. I was like, that's never gonna happen. I was like, wishful thinking, but I mean, never gonna happen. Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, schools are shut, exams are cancelled. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I look back through like my COVID memories, and I mean, they're not bad. Like, this is the thing that I've been saying, like, COVID wasn't bad. No, COVID was bad, but like I was thankful that I was in a house, like had a roof over my head, I had food, I had like access to everything I needed. I could watch TV, I could go out for a run, I could go out for a walk, I could exercise, you know. And I was in a family that we were all fine, do you know what I mean? My mum and dad was still working throughout. Me and Megan got put on furlough, so we didn't face like hardships. And even though I know in my head I was like, oh, sometimes I was like, this is rubbish, like I just want to do something, I knew for so many other people their lockdown would not be the same experience that mine was. So I was just thankful that I was able to just like spend the time with my family. Like, my dad worked the whole way through, like seven days a week, like he didn't stop. But it was nice, like on the weekend we would make sure we dressed up, we'd have my dad's Pimm's on the lawn and have a drink on the weekend, just to get us through it, like to make us feel like it was a weekend. Because obviously the days, everyone will know, the days just merged into one. So yeah, that was basically lockdown. But obviously, I know I was thankful for my situation, but there were days where I just didn't get out of bed. I remember one day, me and Megan weren't even hungover, and we were just like fed up, and we binge watched like series 3 of Love Island, you know, with like Olivia Atwood and all that. We literally like binge watched it. Because we were literally like, oh, I'm just so sick of it. There's things like that, like I made so much banana bread. It was actually my signature dish. But we were exercising as well. Like me and Meg got into the home workouts, and you know, life wasn't bad. And then I think like that period where things started to open up, like I went back to work, I sort of got a life back. I obviously then started my YouTube channel to get me through lockdown, and then life kind of picked up again. And then obviously we got into September and it went downhill again. I just remembered, we had the Tiger King phase. Does everyone remember that period where everyone just went a bit crazy? Like TikTok was like high up there, everyone was obsessed with TikTok, everyone was obsessed with Tiger King. I remember watching that thinking, Jesus Christ. And what's it called? I was watching it and it was about like not Donald Trump, that guy, and he would take people to that place, and that came out, I can't think what it was called. I'm gonna be really mad at myself. If it comes back to me, I'll say it, but I can't remember at this moment in time. But then obviously we had the death of George Floyd, and that was like a turning point, I think. Well, in my head as well, because I didn't really understand what white privilege was, and I remember that week it was horrendous to see even the video. I remember seeing that and thinking, oh my god, obviously that was in America, but thinking like that actually does happen. I think I was kind of just like oblivious, and lots of people did just, I know we did, like just took the time to actually understand like what things happen. Like I remember I've watched that When They See Us on Netflix, and that's horrendous. Like the things that the police like say make them do to try and like prosecute them for something they haven't done is just like awful, and you don't understand until you actually research and look back. And that week was a week for people to learn, and I mean there's still stuff going on now. I think our generation know that like, well, it doesn't matter what colour skin you are, what race, what religion you are, everyone at the end of the day is a human being. Do you know what I mean? What class you come from, it doesn't matter. And I think that's another thing I was going to say about 2020. Like we have kind of realised like what is important in life, and really what I took out of 2020 is human contact. So I think yeah, George Floyd was a turning point. I just wasn't aware of all the stuff that went on. I know it's heightened a lot more in America. Like America is corrupt with everything that goes on, and the thing that's going on at the minute with the white extremists like charging around like that, you know it would be a different situation if it was the other way around. But yeah, that was a turning point 100% in 2020. Let me go back to my list. And now that is the main events that have happened of 2020. I mean, other stuff has happened. I mean, I had my 18th, my sister had her 21st. Obviously, we celebrated it in lockdown. Then life kind of got back to normal, and then it went off, and now we're in lockdown again. But I wanted to leave this video on basically things we've learned from the year. And I think one is to take that leap of faith. 100%, like this year, what it's taught me is that life can be short, and if there's anything you ever want to do, just take that leap of faith. If you want to go new job, new house, just do it, because I think in my head I'm thinking what have you got to lose? And that was with my YouTube. I was always kind of scared to start it because of what people might think, but intentionally I enjoy doing it on the side with my uni. Like obviously fashion is something I love, and this just gives you an excuse to buy loads and loads of clothes. So I think taking that initial leap to do something, 100% we now need to think more than ever, like go on that holiday, buy that car, do this, because you never know what's around the corner. Like 100%, that's something I'd take out of this. And also just like finding happiness in the simple things. Like now I know that when I go to a restaurant, I'm never just going to take it for granted. Like going out for a meal now is like, seems like the best thing I could ever do. Or just giving like my grandma or my granny a hug. Like I'll never take that for granted ever again. And just like finding the things in a walk, like just find happiness in them little things. Because if you think of it, in 2019, going for a walk, you would never think, oh, like that, this is amazing. But in 2020 and 2021, there are moments of happiness. So you think like when you can give your granny a hug, or when you can go to a club, whenever that happens, cherish it. So that's another thing I'm going to take out of 2020. And also like another thing a lot of people will think is like these difficult times actually reveal the truth, because you actually see who your friends are, kind of. Like I've realised, like me and my friends, we had our Zoom quizzes like once a week in the lockdown, and we all stayed in contact. It was nice to keep in contact with them, and it shows that they're actually friends that are going to be there for life. And obviously we had Zoom. We could call each other, do quizzes, stay in contact with the family. So, but also you realise that you lose touch with a lot of people that maybe you thought you might stay in contact with. Thankfully, I didn't. Like, I stayed in contact with like my closest friends. And there's people like in college that maybe you think you would, but obviously you don't. You can understand like who are your real friends, and I think that's a lesson learned. And also I think another thing that I'm taking out of it is to slow down. I mean, my mum's probably watching this now going, slow down, she's just nothing all day. But no, it's true. Like, sometimes last year on the run up to Christmas, I was out and I made myself ill from it. I genuinely think I had COVID then, but like I was going out 18th on Friday, 18th on Saturday, and then I was working Saturday, Sunday. I made myself ill from it. And I was just like, I mean, I don't regret it because, I mean, this year we haven't had any of that. Like, I was going out, I was going clubbing, I was with my friends, and it was really nice, but also I was shattered and I absolutely killed myself off. So just to breathe and slow down and, you know, say sometimes like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to chill tonight. Taking care of your body, like, I drank so much last year, and granted this year I did have a fair few share of drinks, but you know, we had that time to like recuperate, rest, and just like actually get the mind okay as well, because sometimes when you're on the go all the time you don't actually have that time to sit, think, relax. So yeah, that's another thing, just like to find stillness sometimes in like the fast paced of modern life. A little quote there, come off the top of my head. And also, like, you need to think there's always a silver lining. Everything happens for a reason. Cliche, I know, but this year's happened for a reason, whether it's to give people a rest, to give people time to, you know, spend time with their families. Like, you see so much now when you go out, like families that just sit there on their phones, not talking to each other. Like, it's given people time to actually come together. I think that's one good thing. Like, we were never a family like that. Like, my mum would never have like us bring our iPads or allow phones at the table. We were always a family that chats to one another, but we got that quality time to spend with each other because my sister had been at uni for 3 years. Obviously, I've been at home, but we were all together, which was nice. And also, I think, to finish this video on, to create something always to look forward to. Even if it's a phone call, a walk with a friend, a cup of tea, travelling somewhere. It can be as little or as big as you want, but just something to look forward to. If you've got that in the back of your mind, like, yes, it's hard now, but I'm doing this, I've got this to work for, I've got this to work towards, you're going to be in a positive mindset, aren't you? So yeah, just even if it's an afternoon treat, like, I believe so much in, like, when I do my uni work, like, after I've been on a call for like 3 hours. I mean, today I had a call and then I went on a run. But, I mean, I was rewarding myself with kind of like giving the brain a break. And I really enjoyed it. But, I mean, some people would think that is not a reward. So, I can give a better example. Just maybe like you finished some work that's been really hard and go get yourself a biscuit, a cup of tea. Treat yourself for a break and watch something on TV. If you're revising, I mean, I know the exam's been cancelled, but if you're doing something like revising, take a break, watch some TV, get a biscuit, you know, meals out when we can, experiences, travel. Like, just don't waste life. I mean, I got a bit deep, but, you know, cherish every moment, basically. That's what I'm trying to say, because call and see your nan, you know, something. Call on that friend you've not seen for a while, just spontaneously turn up for a chat. just stuff like that. You know, when we can, make the most of life. And I think that is what I am 100% going to do. This September, once we've had the vaccine and I'm in second year of uni, there's no stopping me. I will be back out on the town, you know, living my best life. So yeah, that is 2020, isn't it? I think lessons have been learned, and I for one know that I have learned a lot from this year. I mean, I thought it was the end of the world when my A-levels got cancelled. Like, I remember I was revising upstairs and my dad shouted me down. He was like, Abby, you might want to come look at this. And I came downstairs and I was literally in shock. I never thought they would ever, like, never in a million years would you think they would cancel your exams. And I was like in shock. And then obviously when the results came out, you can go look at that video if you really want to see me cry. It's just unfair, but you know, I learned from that life isn't always the way you want, doesn't always go the way you want it to go. But I think I'm in a better position now anyway. Like, I really enjoy my course, and yeah, so everything happens for a reason. Coronavirus is still around, but you know, I think we're slowly getting to the end of it. So I want to just send love out to everyone in this lockdown again. We can get through it. We've been through 2 now. We know the drill. We know the score. Just stay at home. Go on your little walks and exercise. Eat, bake, keep yourself occupied. And, you know, I've got a week in my lockdown coming for you on Sunday. So you can see what I get up to in lockdown. I mean, it's slightly interesting, you know, it's just like true life, isn't it? So thank you all for watching. Hopefully this has been a nice reflection on the year, and I will see you in the next video. And I'm about to just go and place a massive order with Zara, so I hope you're excited for the next Zara haul. I certainly am. I can't wait to play dress up on Friday. So excited. Right, anyway darlings, I will let you go and I will see you in the next one.